And it was at that moment I realized that I had failed Matric. I went from failing Matric. Proudly tell you that I am now a graduate, okay? What's good, everybody? It is your fave melanated kazi.dite, and I'm back with yet another video. If you are not already familiar with this face, baby, please do the most and click on the subscribe button. And if you are a member of this family, our sweet and our love, welcome back to my channel. I know I have been gone for the absolute longest time, but that's not why we're here today, okay? New season, new year, new me. And I'm in my YouTube. So a lot of you guys might know that I had been a student. I was studying at the University of the Free State for the absolute longest time. And now today, January 2024, I proudly tell you that I am now a graduate, okay? Dine degree. Guys, I cannot believe it, but I finished my degree and I will be graduating in April, but I got my completion letter. It's done. I'm done with that degree. I've got it in the bag, secured. But the journey here was not easy, and that's why I'm doing today's video, because I feel like, you know, it might help somebody out there, because not everything is rainbows and sunshine in this life thing, okay? Sometimes things just don't go according to plan and you just have to keep on pushing. So I just want to tell you guys how I did a couple of years ago, 2013. I started my high school. I went to an art high school in the east of Pretoria. Vibes, okay? Absolutely loved that school. It was across town from where I lived. I lived really far, but you know, I pushed. I was like, I want to be that kid. And grade 8, grade 9, guys, I did really well. I would pass, like top achiever. I mean, from primary, I used to be like really good with my academics. I was a top achiever even in my grade 8, grade 9 year. I remember this one time in grade 9, I like passed like really well. There was this math test we wrote, and my math teacher came to me after school and she was like, listen, you should consider studying actuarial science. I was like, actuarial science, math geek or what, you know? But unfortunately, like everything that happens in life, my mental health started going bad. And I think that was when it first started, when I should have acted on it, but I didn't. And grade 10, my mental health just kept on deteriorating, and it just kept on going down. My mental health was just not grand. So in grade 10, I picked sciences. So I had physical science, I had life sciences, and then I had IT. I did information technology. I absolutely loved IT. It was probably my favorite subject in like school. I loved that thing. It was so fun. Coding was fun. I enjoyed it with everything in me. So yeah, at this point I'm just passing, okay? I'm no longer top achiever. I'm no longer a top 10. I'm not. Grade 11 was definitely probably one of my worst years. Like everything was bad, guys. When I tell you, my depression had kicked in so bad that I would get to school and zone out. Like I just wasn't there anymore. Like I was there but not there. Sana bendi goa. But you know what? Somehow, somewhere, I made it till the end of the year. So just before the year ended, they elected new prefects for Matric, right? And I was one of the few that were elected. So I made part of the ELRC, which is the Elected Learner Representative Council. But also in that, I was secretary. So I was like in the exec of it, which was super fun. This gave me a sense of belonging, a sense of, you know, something. I was like, oh, I'm doing something with my life. So I remember at the end of grade 11, when I went to fetch my report, bear in mind now, I'm a prefect. I'm already wearing Matric uniform because we started our duties in late grade 11. So we're already wearing the Matric prefect uniform. So I'm already in a white shirt, guys. I remember my teacher giving me my report and she was like, you were this close to not making it. I don't know what was gonna happen. You would have thought that would have been a wake-up call for me to be like, girl, you need to get on your Zoom. But no, it wasn't. Got to Matric. I enjoyed Matric, to be honest. I really enjoyed my Matric year. Being a prefect was fun. I had fun with all of that. I enjoyed the duties. Leadership has always been something I enjoy. And you know what? I had so much fun with it. I had so much fun with it. I was a prefect, did my thing, but my academics were dismally bad at this point. Like, they were bad. Like, guys, they were so bad. And when I think back now, I'm like, you know, I remember I would get up and I'll go to school every day. But academically, I don't remember anything. I just remember getting into classes, zoning out, getting out of classes. Break time, I go to my duty spot, I do whatever, go back to class, talk to my friends, zone out. Like, my mental health was just bad. End of the year, I went to Lesotho. End of my matric year, I was like, oh, finally done. I need a break. I went to Lesotho because my mom is from Lesotho, so I went there for a little breather, a little holiday. Tell me why, as I'm in Lesotho, it started dawning on me that matric results are coming out in Jan and you need to get your life. So I had applied for some courses, but I was very scared. I was very anxious for those results. The day before results came out, I had to leave Lesotho and come back to Pretoria. So my dad was in Pretoria, my mom stayed in Lesotho with my siblings. So I came back to Pretoria so that I could get my results the next day. Midnight that day, I am nervous. Like, guys, I don't think you understand. I just knew. I kind of knew that, you know what, I did not do well. I'm aware I did not do well, but I anticipated that, you know, maybe I won't get a bachelor pass. Being the A student that I've always been, obviously I want to get a bachelor pass. I want to have distinctions, but I was like, maybe I won't get a bachelor pass. Midnight, we go out with my dad. There was this other garage. We went there. We bought a newspaper. Guys, this is so triggering. Open that newspaper while we're in the car before we drive back home. We're in Pretoria CBD, ne? Open the newspaper. I was number 3 on the list, so my exam number ended with 03. I check 01, 02, 04. When I tell you, at that moment, everything went blurry. I was like, surely not. Not me. It cannot be. And I go back, I look, and I'm shaking at this point. I'm like, do I have the right school? I look, it's my school. I check. I'm like, I know my number. It ends with 03. 01, 02, 04. Skip 03. Sana, I wanted to die. At that very moment, I remember shaking, and my dad was like, it's fine, let's just go home and we'll, you know. I remember, like, I just knew, I felt like at that very moment, because what do you mean? And it was at that moment I realized that I had failed matric. That was it. I remember when I got home, I called my mom. I was like, she's obviously waiting for me to tell her the results. I tell her, I'm like, my number is not in the newspaper. My number is not in the newspaper, my dear. And I immediately went to my room. I cried. I bawled my eyes out. Like, I remember crying so much, feeling like, and not wake up. Like, let me just cry to my death. Let me just cry and let it be it. Like, I was over it. I was like, there's nothing more to this life thing. I'm done. The one thing I thought I was going to finish, which was high school, and you tell me I couldn't make it at the very last grade. I had been passing all along. You're going to tell me it's at the final thingy where I'm gonna not make it. I was so over it. But yeah, I cried myself to sleep. I think I was given sleeping tablets that day. I slept. So the next day, my dad wakes up. He tells me that he's gonna go to my school. He's gonna go fetch my statements just to see what went wrong and what are my marks. So he went. I didn't go with him, obviously, because I'm not about to go to school and face everybody who's excited for passing matric, and I didn't. He went to fetch my statement, comes back. He's like, you did pretty well with other subjects. So I had a distinction in Afrikaans. It was almost a distinction in English. And I had just failed 2 subjects. And because I failed 2 and not 1, it meant I failed my matric. So I had failed my physics and math. And I'm like, you know what? Valid. To be fair, valid, because every time I was in those classes, I don't remember a thing. I do not remember a thing. My mom came back the next day though, from Lesotho. She drove and hurried back, and once she got back, she was like, let's go out. We went to have a little chat just to talk about, like, you know, what now, what happens. Like, obviously you're not gonna have to go back full-time to school. You can just write supplementary exams for the 2. If you pass, you're good. And I was like, but I don't want to be in Pretoria, because I feel like it's stressing me more the more I'm seeing all my friends, everybody I know, everybody, church, friends, everybody, and everyone's asking you, oh, how are your matric results? I was like, it's gonna frustrate me. I don't want to be here. My mom sent me to Vicksburg, and it's so funny because I'm in Vicksburg right now. We live in Vicksburg. She moved here about 2 years ago. At the time, I was just like, send me far. So she had a friend that stayed here, and she was like, sharp, go stay with her. Luckily, her friend was a physics teacher, so she was like, she'll just help me prepare for my subs, and then I'll go back to Pretoria when I go write my subs. Came to Fixburg. I stayed, I think it's like 2 months, because the subs were in March. And then yeah, I went back, I wrote my subs, I passed. And now I'm like, what now, my dear? Moving on, what must happen now? So yeah, around I think June, July, I got my results back, and I had finally passed Matric. But now I'm halfway into the year. I did not go to university as I had anticipated, as all my other mates had gone. But I was like, what happens now? So I decided to start tutoring because I was really good in my languages, which is my English and Afrikaans. I started tutoring in those. My mom's friend, she was like, come stay with us full time, almost like an au pair. And yeah, I was working basically for the rest of that year while applying, and that is how I applied to the University of the Free State. Sometime during a church thing, I heard one girl talking about how the University of the Free State has like a university access program should your marks be not high enough to get into the mainstream degree you want. And my marks were not, because I had failed those 2 subjects. They took my APS dismally low, right? And obviously with writing my subs, I did not write my subs and get distinction. I just made it to pass. So my APS wasn't the highest, but I made it and I got into that university access program. So it's a 1 year. I did a higher certificate at South Campus of the University of the Free State. Did a higher certificate in my communication studies and sociology. Guys, when I tell you that year I studied, because I had the fear of failure, and I was like, now that I've experienced what failing is, I don't want to go through that again. I studied that year, okay? I literally would always get the highest marks in my class for every module. Like I wasn't playing games that year. I was like, I know I'm a top achiever. I'm an A student. I'm not going to play games. Okay? So yeah, get my high certificate. I pass it with distinction, move to main campus, and I get into my mainstream degree. It's a 3-year degree. I moved there in 2020. Obviously, 2020 is the year that the people I did Matric with are doing their final years. And I'm here now at main campus, technically doing first year. And obviously it's not nice, guys. It's not nice. It's not a nice feeling. But I kept on remembering, all the people would tell me, own race, own pace, don't rush anything. Everyone has their own story to tell. And I was like, you know what? This is my journey. Let me do it how I can in my time and not compare myself with others. So I embraced my university years, embraced them completely. It was amazing. First year went well. Second year went well. Then third year came, 2022. So now I'm fully immersed in my varsity years. I'm fully immersed in the University of the Free State. If you know anything about me, I'm a UFS. I'm a COFSI for real, okay? At this point, I'm a student leader. I've gotten a job on campus. I work as a student assistant in social media and marketing at one of the departments, and I'm studying. This was a little bit too much. Those 3 things were a bit much, and once again it caused my mental health to spiral down. Okay, when I tell you that, guys, my final year was probably one of the most difficult. End of first semester, I realized I did not pass. I think it was 1 or 2 modules, and I'm like, this means I'm coming back next year. It's not my final year anymore because there's nothing that can be done. And second semester, I think because I already knew I'm coming back the following year, second semester I did not even put in the effort. I did not try, shame. And then came 2023. Now I'm coming back to do my final year for the second time. Hey, Sana, this time around, I was like, you know what? I experienced failure in Matric. And the years after Matric, my higher certificate year, my first year and my second year, I pushed, okay? I was golden key, I was everything. I was like, I sort of in these years forgot what failure felt like. And in my third year, I again allowed myself, or not allowed, but it got to that point again. So when I'm doing this 4th year of this 3-year degree, which is now my final year, I'm like, you know what, this time around, I'm not playing games. I can't afford to fumble the bag again because I need to get out of this institution. At this point, I'm no longer even funded by NSFAS. I'm just like on my own. I have to figure this out on my own. I pushed. Tears, sweat, crying, I pushed. Okay, I would wake up and sleep in that library. I would always be in the computer labs. I pushed, and here we are now today, a girly who has completed her degree. So I've had people ask me like, Kazi, how did you do it? Like, how did you not give up? How did you keep on persisting and pushing? And I'm like, hey Sana, it's not easy while you're in the journey. Now that I'm at the end, I'm like, oh, it was worth it. You know, it was worth it. Trust the process. It's not easy while you're in the journey, but I think looking at other people who have gone through a lot in terms of the academics and getting motivation from them eventually finishing is what helped me push myself and say, you know what, and I have no reason to not get to the end. And now I'm at the end, and I feel like if you are in Matric now and your results are not what you wanted, you did not pass, it does not mean it's the end of the road. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys how I did it, how I went from failing Matric, finding out that I failed Matric, to eventually getting into university, doing the degree of my choice that I wanted to do, and graduating, and today sitting here in front of you telling you I'm done with that degree. I bagged it. It's in the bag, okay? I had an interview today. I'm job hunting, and I'm embracing this new season that I'm in. I'm job hunting. I'm doing the best I can, and I'm like, you know what? Enjoy every season to the best you can, but don't beat yourself up if things are not working. Yeah, guys, if you guys have any questions based on, you know, academics, this is something I really would like to talk about more. Should you have any questions, hit me up. Let me know. You can comment down below, but please like this video. And if you made it till this point, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all the best with the new academic year starting, with, you know, people starting new varsities, with people starting their final years, with those who just finished and are going into different seasons now. All the best. I wish you all the best, but remember, it's your own race. Take it at your own pace. Nobody's rushing you, and trust the process, because I believe that the universe puts you in whatever season for a reason. You know, my old residence head used to say, you are called for such a time as this. There is a reason you are where you are right now, and in the end you will see it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. It's been a great video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you found it informative. I hope it motivated you to a certain extent should you have needed it. But from your fave melanated cousin, I will see you in my next video. Bye.